Summer love, I can't get enough. You keep spinning round in my head. Keep me close, never let me go. We're riding waves until the sun sets. I know the sun will always keep us warm, and you'll never have to feel alone. Summer love, I can't get enough. You keep spinning round in my head. My summer love. Can't get enough. You keep spinning round in my head. Keep me close, never let me go. We're riding waves until the sun sets. I know the sun will always keep us warm, and you'll never have to feel alone. Summer love, I can't get enough. You keep spinning round in my head. My summer love. Round in my head. recognize these faces. 10 more minutes, then we're out. All these awkward conversations, they don't care if we're around. If I'm honest, we don't need this party. We don't need nobody, 'cause you know people come and go. We don't care at all. Ooh, we're not alone. Everybody fades, one thing still remains. You, it's only you and I. Forget the world. It's only you and I. Forget the world. Ooh, ooh. It's only you and I. Forget the world. You're my home in different places. It doesn't matter where I go. Having friends is overrated. Yeah, let's keep them at a minimum. If I'm honest, we don't need this party. We don't need nobody, 'cause you know people come and go. We don't care at all. Ooh, we're not alone. Everybody fades, one thing still remains. You, it's only you and I. Forget the world. It's only you and I. Forget the world. Ooh, ooh. It's only you and I. Forget the world. Ooh, ooh. It's only you and I. Forget the world. You used to say that we were dreaming of places that we could go. You used to say that we would leave it, taking the open road. The perfect moments to forget who we are. Into the ocean, under the stars. And I wanted you to know I'll always hold you close. So come with me, don't let go. We'll take the open road, the open road.
What is up, everybody? Happy freaking Wednesday. What's up, Kels?
What up, what up?
How are you?
Alright. How about you?
Good. Except for the little blizzardness that's happening everywhere, but that's
Oh,
okay.
shit.
Hope everybody's having a dope day. Cheers, cheers. Oh, this is not on. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Cheers, cheers, everybody. What up, Box Man? How are you, brother? I hope you were having a wonderful Wednesday.
What up, Mama Roo? How's it going?
What up, Cornbread? How are you? I hope you were having a wonderful day.
How's it going, Ash?
What is up, Vicky? Hope you're having a wonderful day. We got 7 minutes to 4:20. Think we can sneak up Smoke Song in before our Smoke Song?
Definitely.
Definitely. Let's get baked. Cheers, cheers, everybody.
If someone told me that the world would end tonight, you could take all that I got for once, I wouldn't start a fight. You could have my liquor, take my dinner, take my fun, my birthday cake, my soul, my dog, take everything I love. But oh, one thing I'm never gonna do is throw away my dancing shoes. And oh Lord, don't try me, really not tonight. Song. I got all good luck and zero fucks, don't care if I belong, no. If I could kill the thing that makes us all so dumb, we're never getting younger, so I'm gonna have some fun. But oh, one thing I'm never gonna do is throw away my dancing shoes. And oh Lord, don't try me, really not tonight.
What up, Deb? How are you? I hope you were having a dope Wednesday. Yeah, it's been a pretty good day. How's your day been, Kels?
Super stony. Still pretty
Super
good.
stony or super snowy? Whatever
Stony.
this. What? This dude is building a canoe. What? Where the fuck did this happen? What up, dude? Welcome to the show.
In Maine.
I don't know if we know we're watching you, but later, dude. We'll catch you in a bit. We'll see how much progress he makes on the boat here after a while. Yes, it's been a dope day, Cornbread. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're feeling all right.
Yeah, I hope you're feeling better.
Just let us know if you're coming to the show so we can put our masks on.
We don't have no snow.
You don't have any snow?
No.
We got snow on its way. Snow and wind and all the good things. Talking like negative 18 tonight.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I think the coldest it was like on Saturday, it was like 24 or something.
It's too cold. It's too cold. We'll smoke for 420. We got some Guardians of Unity this afternoon. Other than that, I gotta work tonight, so but yeah. It'll be alright. What are you smoking on today, Kels?
Let's see. I just did a dab of Chem Dog. But I got some orange boof that I've been smoking a lot of. Shit's delicious.
I'm smoking on cotton candy gelato and some Malibu slushy vape.
Got a bunch of reclaim that I gotta do something with.
Nice. We're kind of hanging out with Morgan. It's been a pretty chill day. We are 2 minutes from 420. Big plans for your evening, Kels?
I'm making some barbecue boneless beef ribs.
Nice, that sounds good.
Yeah. That's about it. I'm excited for that.
That sounds delicious.
They've been marinating since 10 o'clock.
Damn. That looks shitty right there. I don't want to go there.
No, it looks windy there.
It looks cold as a motherfucker.
The thing's like fucking moving.
I saw on the news story that there was people that got stranded up in a ski lift.
Mm-hmm.
That's a horror. That's actually a horror movie. I'm pretty sure it's got fucking Josh Peck in it, which is a pretty good movie.
There's no snow there.
In Vermont. It looks like it's about to start. 1 minute out, everybody. I don't know shit about the Northeast. I don't know where any of these fucking places are.
Somewhere in Maine.
It's Portland, not Oregon.
It's Portland, Maine.
Portland, not Oregon.
A bunch of the ravers that I talked to this weekend, a lot of them go down to Portland and rave. I was like, wow.
Portland, Maine? That's a long drive.
No, Portland, Oregon. Hey, look, they got the bubble thingies for their boats.
Oh, it keeps the water not frozen?
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, it keeps the water from freezing because it's moving. Cheers.
Happy 420, everybody.
Smoke weed every day.
fucking go. What up, Kay?
There was goats.
There was fucking goats. I wonder how the canoe dude is doing. Bro, it's cold out there. What are you doing in the middle of the lake?
Looking for fish.
Fishing for ice?
Wouldn't taste very good.
No. Do not recommend. Alright, is everybody ready for our Guardians recap?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Last time on Guardians of Unity, in the gray, wrong light after the battle, the real damage didn't sit in the mud. It sat on Lydia's old maps. Victor stood over a table that had stopped being strategy and turned into fixation. K underlined twice. Ash carved 3 times into the paper. Magic circled until the page bruised. Outside, Tempest held a storm like a clenched fist on the horizon. Inside, Victor demanded she aim it, not at the front, but at the 3 who killed Lydia. Tempest pushed back hard, reminding him the war was a sickness, not a single wound, and warning that if he turned the whole front into his grief, he'd burn the advantage Lydia died to build. Victor didn't care. To him, she was the whole, and what mattered now was payment. When he finally said, "Let it burn," it wasn't just a tactic. It was the first crack where his personal vendetta split away from Tempest's need to actually win the war. When the next major push came, the storm arrived like something dragged into place by argument instead of design. Hail stung, winds shoved, thunder narrowed the world, and for a few minutes Victor's plan worked. Pressure, weather, and troops, all driving the Guardians toward a river killbox, with one unit in particular marked to die. Then the sky slipped its leash. Gusts hit at the wrong moments, formations staggered, and the storm sprawled wider than Victor had ordered, chewing his own runners and supply lines as much as the enemy. The targeted unit bent, broke, and escaped through a gap the weather itself had torn open. Victor tracked the failure straight back to its source and confronted Tempest under the belly of her cloud base. He accused her of wasting Lydia's precision. She accused him of using his grief as a leash and turning her storms into a glorified execution warrant for 3 faces. "You're not commanding a war, you're hunting," she said, and for the first time he looked at her not just as a weapon, but as something that might not strike where he points. From there, the split stopped being a single argument and settled into the shape of the war. Victor's campaigns narrowed into hooks, short, brutal raids, and high-risk routes, designed less to gain ground and more to force the same handful of Guardians to answer him again and again. He ignored strained stores and exposed flanks if it meant they'd come and answer. Tempest still gave him weather, but her storms came with clenched teeth. Too wide where he demanded clean corridors, strangely thin where he wanted killing blows. Obedience flavored with contempt. Around them, rumors spread that the Storm Witch was tired of being treated like a leash, that Victor's grief had cracked his iron and turned strategy into obsession. Tempest answered those whispers with distant thunder, a warning, not a revolt, reminding the sky and Victor that she still holds the storm, and he isn't the only one who decides where it falls. Stay tuned for this week's Guardians of Unity as Victor hunts 3 names and Tempest fights to keep the war from collapsing around his grief. The Guardians may not be the only ones facing a battlefield that's breaking in 2.
Hey, what up, Ash? What up, Vicky? Hope everybody's having a wonderful Wednesday. All right, is everybody ready?
You really need a bookmark now.
I know, I need a bookmark like crazy. Hey, what up, Face All?
What up, what up?
Here we go.
Chapter 254, Shattered Aims. News of Lydia's death didn't arrive like a trumpet. It arrived like ash. Fine, clinging, inevitable, settling into seams no one could scrub clean. It found its way under armor straps and into tired mouths. It dulled the sharp edges of conversation. It made even the boldest of voices sound like they were speaking through cloth. And once it settled, Victor's war changed shape. Not slowly, not gracefully. All at once, as if some internal hinge finally gave and the whole machine swung in a different direction. Territory stopped being a language he cared to speak. Names became the only map that mattered. And in the dim, smoky lamplight of the command shelter, Victor stood over a table that had once looked like control. Ink, pens, measured routes, clean lines. The calm geometry of a mind that believed the world could be reduced to angles and solved. Now the parchment was scarred. He redrew the same lines again and again, not to take ground, not to stabilize a front, not to hold anything worth holding, just to circle the places where Kay and Ash had been seen, where their units' markings had been reported, where Lydia's last threads had gone quiet. The circles multiplied until they looked less like strategy and more like a fever. His hand moved in short, precise strokes that didn't match the tremor in his fingers. A line, a circle, a name. Then harder, so hard the quill bit the paper, another circle. Tempest stood nearby with her arms folded, posture rigid, jaw tight enough to show the muscle at the hinge. She watched him erase and redraw like he was trying to change the past by changing the ink. "Your scouts are thinning," she said at last, voice flat. Victor didn't look up. "Send more." "Your escorts are bleeding out keeping your supply lines stitched," she continued, as if she hadn't heard him. "Artillery crews are being reassigned to personal hunts. The front doesn't care what you feel, Victor. It cares what you can hold." His quill paused. The lamplight caught the edge of his profile, still sharp, still controlled, until he spoke, and the control showed its cracks. "What I hold," he said quietly, "is irrelevant." Tempest's eyes narrowed. "That's a lie." Victor set the quill down with a deliberation that felt like a threat. He lifted his gaze just enough to meet her without fully giving her the dignity of attention. "Nothing matters," he said, "until she is avenged." The words were simple. They landed like a blade. Tempest's mouth twisted, not with sympathy, not with fear, something closer to disgust at waist. "She's dead," Tempest said. "That part is finished." Victor's stare didn't move. Tempest leaned forward a fraction, voice sharpening. "What you're doing now, these assaults, these lopsided pushes, this isn't vengeance. It's you burning your own war down because you don't like the shape of the hole she left." Victor's hand tightened on the edge of the table. The paper crinkled under his grip. "You talk," he said, still low, "like you understand what was taken." Tempest's laugh was short, bitter. "I understand enough to recognize obsession when I see it." Victor didn't flinch. He reached for a different page, one that had been folded and unfolded so many times the creases had turned soft and permanent. The old lines on it were Lydia's, her handwriting, her crisp symbols, her neat, infuriating certainty. He placed it on top like a relic, like proof. Then he drew 2 new circles with brutal simplicity. K. Ash. Tempest's gaze flicked through the ink. "So that's it," she said. "That's your whole war now." Victor's voice stayed cold, but it wasn't calm anymore. Calm had left him in small pieces over several nights, and now only the imitation remained. "They touched what was mine," he said. "They will learn what that costs." Tempest stepped closer, the air around her subtly changing, pressure shifting the way it did before a storm's mood turned. "While you chase them," she said, "magic still stands." Victor's eyes narrowed as if the name was an irritant, not a warning. "And Ma, and CJ," Tempest added, and there was something sharp in the way she said it. Not care, not mercy. Contempt for a problem still breathing. Your enemies still keep their little sanctuary alive behind the lines. They still mend. They still promise. They still recover. Victor's attention flickered, just briefly, to a corner of the map where someone had marked that place with a symbol too delicate to belong on a battlefield. His expression didn't change, but his voice did. "Later," he said. Tempest blinked, actually surprised. "Later," she repeated, tasting the word like poison. "That sanctuary is the kind of thing you burn first. It's morale. It's continuity. It's the soft center you cut out to make the whole body go numb." Victor's jaw tightened. "That," he said, "is not what killed her." Tempest's stare sharpened until it looked like she could split him open just by keeping it steady. "So you've decided the war will be arranged around your grief." Victor's eyes went darker. "I've decided it will be arranged around consequence." Tempest's fingers flexed, and the lamplight trembled as if the air itself reacted to her restraint. "You're bleeding resources," she said, clipped now. "You're throwing elite units into bad odds because you want a slim chance at two people who move. They don't stand still and wait for your grief to find them." Victor's mouth curled into something that wasn't a smile. "No," he said. "They move when they think they're needed." Tempest's expression went still. Victor tapped the map once, one tight, decisive motion. "Make it look like need," he said. "Make it look like mercy. Make it look like something that cannot ignore." Tempest's eyes flashed. "That is Lydia's kind of tactic." Victor's gaze locked onto hers. "Yes." Tempest held his stare, and for a moment it felt like the shelter itself leaned away from the collision between them. Storm and malice occupying the same space and refusing to yield. Then Tempest spoke with a quiet that made the air feel colder. "She used tactics like that to break systems," she said, "not to satisfy a personal hunger." Victor's voice went sharper. "Do not speak to me of Lydia's intent." Tempest's laugh was almost a snarl. "Then stop using her name as a cover for what you're doing." Silence. Heavy, unresolved. Victor reached for a small object near the corner of the table. Something metal and old, pressed flat by a lifetime of being carried. Lydia's sigil. Simple, elegant. The kind of mark that meant ownership and principle in the same breath. He set his palm over it like it could steady him. Tempest watched the gesture, and something in her expression hardened, not softened. It made her more dangerous. "You're narrowing," she said again, quieter, "and your narrowing is going to cost you." Victor didn't look up. "If it costs me everything," he said, "then that is the price." Tempest's eyes went bright, lightning hiding behind them. "That," she said, "is stupidity dressed as devotion." Victor's fingers pressed into the sigil until the skin around his knuckles went pale. "Leave," he said. Tempest didn't move. Victor's voice rose, not loud, but edged. "Leave." Tempest's jaw flexed. For a heartbeat, it looked like she might argue. It looked like she might call the storm down into the shelter just to prove she could. Instead, she turned sharply and walked out into the night without bowing, without yielding, without pretending the fracture between them was anything but real. The wind followed her like loyalty that had begun to reconsider its shape. Victor remained, alone with ink, alone with circles, alone with the quiet, brutal arithmetic of obsession. He stared down at the names he'd written until they stopped looking like letters and started looking like targets. Then he reached for the calm seal. No speech, no flourish, just an order, clipped and merciless. The kind that made sense only inside grief. "Deploy the elite wedge," he said. "Now. No delay, no hesitation." A pause on the other side, just long enough to suggest someone was brave enough to realize the math was wrong. Victor's voice turned colder. "Do it," he repeated. "Bring me proof." He set the seal down. His hand returned to Lydia's sigil, resting there as if the metal could anchor parts of him that were coming loose. The lamplight flickered. The map waited. And somewhere out in the dark another push began. Not because it would win, not because it would hold, not because it would matter to any sane war, but because Victor Malvora had decided that grief was a compass, and names were the only direction left.
Hey, Ma, how are you? Hope you're having a wonderful day.
Hi, Ma.
So freaking good. Chapter 255.
Chapter 255, Tempest's Hunt. Tempest did not need reports to know the cottage still stood. She had lived there. She could have found it blind by memory alone, by the way the valley caught fog in the mornings, by the way the wind changed tone when it crossed the low roofs, by the way smoke used to smell when Ma cooked something that made the whole village feel safe for an hour. That was the problem. Safety was a scent she still recognized, and every time she recognized it, something inside her snapped back to the same old wound. She stood beneath a sky she was holding tight as a fist. Clouds layered and coiled overhead, not sprawling, not wandering, disciplined, contained, the way Victor liked them when he was pretending he still commanded the world like a clean equation. Below, the war kept moving in its own steady ugliness, boots, murmurs, the shift of bodies and burdens. But Tempest watched it all like it was nothing. Her attention was somewhere else, because the cottage wasn't just a point on a map. It was a heartbeat she had once listened to with her ear pressed to the floorboards, swearing she could feel the whole world breathing through it. Now it was breathing for them. Ma and CJ pulling bodies back from the edge with stubborn hands. Vicky and Kells turning chaos into something that looked like care. Magic. Magic. Moving between line and rear like the world still belonged to him, like he still had the right to protect anything. Every description that drifted through enemy channels wasn't information, it was a knife. Her old kitchen, her old village, her old family turned into the beating heart of the Guardian's resilience. In Tempest's mind, they were not just obstacles, they were traitors who chose the world over her. She closed her eyes, and the cottage rose behind her eyelids in perfect detail. The doorway, the shelves, the table with a corner that always caught your hip if you moved too fast. The place where she used to sit while Ma talked like storms could be soothed if you just understood them, while CJ laughed like the world could never truly take her, while Magic looked at her like he could still pull her back from any cliff. And then they had let her fall anyway. When she opened her eyes, the horizon was a bruise of distant light and restrained thunder. A sentry approached with careful steps, respectful and afraid in the way people got when they'd seen what she could do to a man without touching him. He stopped at the edge of her shadow and cleared his throat like the sound might protect him. "Storm Witch," he said, "Malvora requests." Tempest's gaze slid to him. His spine went rigid. "Request what?" she asked, voice almost bored. "More cover," the sentry said quickly. "For the next push. He wants the winds tighter. He wants surgical." "Tighter," Tempest echoed, tasting the word, watching relief bloom on the man's face, as if agreement was mercy. Her smile wasn't warm, it wasn't even amused. It was the expression of someone who had decided where to put the blade. "Tell Victor," she said softly, "the sky will do what I allow." The sentry hesitated, caught between obedience and survival. Tempest barely moved, just a small flick of her eyes. "Go," she said. He went. When he was out of earshot, Tempest lifted her chin toward the cloud base and listened. Not to the battle, but to the weather, to the small changes in pressure and breath that told her what the world was ready to do if she stopped holding it back. She saw the roads to the village in her mind, not as paths, but as vulnerabilities, clay that could be turned to glue with 1 hour of rain. a narrow bend where runoff always gathered, a rise that looked harmless until you remembered how easily soil could liquefy when you drowned it right, a river path that could be swollen, not into a flood. Floods were loud, floods were obvious, but into a steady, cruel climb that ate bridges and stranded anyone trying to run. Tempest mapped it the way Lydia would have mapped a trap, not because she missed Lydia, but because Lydia had understood something Victor was forgetting. You didn't need to crush an enemy all at once. Sometimes you only had to make them arrive too late. And magic was always arriving, always patching, always fixing, always saving. Tempest's mouth twisted. She could take that from him. She could make him watch the cottage from a ridge of useless distance, while the sky did what the sky did best. She could make him feel what it was like to reach for family and find nothing but weather in your hands. Footsteps approached again, this time without apology. Victor did not bother with caution. He stepped into her space like it belonged to him, and his voice came clipped and immediate, as if urgency could substitute for control. "Now," he said. Tempest didn't turn. "You are impatient." "I have operations moving," Victor snapped. "You have obsessions moving," she corrected, and felt the silence flare between them like struck metal. Victor's tone went colder. "Don't." Tempest finally looked at him. His eyes were hollowed in a way that wasn't exhaustion. It was fixation, something narrowing, sharpening, turning every other part of the war into background noise. He held a folded map in one hand like a weapon. She didn't need to see it to know what was circled. "Give me the storm," Victor said. "Tight, exact. I want them pinned. I want them trapped where they can't slip away." "You want Kay and Ash," Tempest said. His jaw flexed. He didn't deny it. Her smile returned, thin, dangerous. "I will cover your push. You'll have thunder, you'll have hail. You'll have enough wind to make them curse my name." His shoulders eased a fraction as if agreement was oxygen. Tempest watched the tiny surrender and filed it away. "But," she added, lazy as a stretched cat, "you don't get to tell me the sky is your scalpel." Victor stepped closer, anger flickering. "This isn't about pride." Tempest's eyes brightened, lightning behind them. "Isn't it?" "It's about Lydia," Victor said, and the name came out like a nail driven too deep. Tempest's expression cooled. Then, very quietly, she said, "Lydia is not your excuse to waste everything else." For a moment she thought he might strike her, not because he was stronger, but because grief had made him stupid. But Victor held himself in place with sheer discipline, like a man gripping a cliff edge he didn't want to admit was crumbling. "Do your job," he said. Tempest tilted her head. "My job." "Cover the push," Victor repeated, and there was a tremor in it, rage trying to wear the mask of command. "Fine," Tempest said. She lifted one hand and the storm responded instantly. Thunder deepened, wind shifted. Hail formed like teeth in the dark. Victor watched the horizon as if he could see revenge moving in the weather. Tempest let him. She fed his fury enough noise to keep him chasing his narrow hunt. She gave him fear. She gave him destruction that looked like loyalty. What she did not give him was her best. Not the precise patterns, not the patient pressure, not the kind of storm that didn't just hurt, it ended things. That storm was reserved for the cottage, for Ma and CJ, for the old table and the old doorway, and the old lie that anyone had ever loved her more than they loved the world, for Magic, who still breathed like he had a right to fix what had been broken. Victor watched the storm line begin to move, satisfied in the way a man could be satisfied when he believed the sky belonged to him. Tempest watched it too and felt nothing. Then she did something small, something Victor didn't notice. She shifted the pressure pattern a fraction, just enough to remember the village roads, just enough to lay a future path in the clouds like a hidden map. A high, distant rumble answered her. Not rebellion, not yet. A warning. As Victor turned back toward his tables and his circles and his names, Tempest stayed where she was, eyes fixed on a direction he wasn't looking. Vengeance was pulling them in different ways now. Victor toward faces, Tempest toward home. And the sky, her sky, was no longer something she intended to share.
Wow, it's so freaking good. What up, Heather? What up, Amber?
Well, it's time for me to jump down. I gotta go get Oliver, but I'll be listening for the rest of it in the comments.
Much love,
Talk to you guys
Kels.
later.
You're hanging.
Have a good night at work.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye.
All right, we got one more chapter. Here we go.
Chapter 256, Victor Unraveling. It stopped being something soldiers muttered about when they thought no one important could hear. It became something you could see. Victor Malvora walked the lines like he no longer remembered what shelter was for. Drizzle slicked his hair and darkened the shoulders of his coat, but he didn't pull the hood up. He didn't seem to notice the cold at all. He moved with the restless, predatory pace that used to mean calculation, used to mean he was working, and now meant something else. Like he was chasing a thought that kept slipping out of reach. At first it was small, a pause that lasted a heartbeat too long, a turn of his head like he'd heard a familiar step behind him. Then it got worse. A gust dragged smoke sideways from a fresh crater, and for an instant the shifting gray formed a silhouette. Narrow shoulders, a precise tilt of the head, hair that wasn't moving with the wind the way it should. Victor stopped so suddenly the guard behind him almost ran into his back. "Lydia," Victor breathed. The shape was gone as fast as it came, torn apart by rain and drifting ash, but Victor didn't move. His eyes tracked the empty air like it had simply stepped out of sight, not ceased to exist. A soldier a few paces away glanced up, confused. Victor snapped his gaze to him. "Did you see her?" he demanded, voice sharp enough to cut. "Just now, there." The soldier blinked hard, looking where Victor was pointing. Only smoke, only drizzle, only churned ground. No, sir," he stammered. Victor's jaw tightened. He turned away like the answer offended him. It happened again an hour later when the light shifted and the rain thinned into a fine cold mist. A figure stood at the edge of a broken walkway, still, composed, wrong in the way a memory was wrong when it walked into the real world. Victor's breath caught, and for a second his face wasn't command at all. It was something naked, something reaching. He took a step. The figure vanished. Victor's hand lifted, fingers twitching as if he could grab the air and drag it back. Then he spun to the men nearest him, eyes bright with a frantic kind of certainty. "You," he said, stabbing a finger toward a pair of exhausted troops. "Did you see that? Did you see her standing there?" The two men exchanged a glance, terror and confusion braided together. One of them swallowed so hard his throat bobbed. "No, sir," he said quickly, "just missed." Victor stared at him for a long moment, and the rain tapped softly against leather and steel like impatient fingers. "Then keep your eyes open," Victor whispered, and the whisper was worse than a shout. "She's here." They didn't know what to do with that. No one did. They just nodded because nodding was safer than asking questions. The tallies started coming in as the drizzle thickened. Officers arrived with mud on their knees and exhaustion in the way they carried their shoulders. They held casualty sheets like offerings, numbers, names, losses that should have mattered to a man who claimed he was building a future out of conquest. They spoke carefully, respectfully, the way people spoke around a blade they couldn't predict. Victor barely glanced at the pages. "Were either of them there?" he asked, already impatient. The officer hesitated. "Sir?" Victor's eyes narrowed. "Kay, Ash." "No confirmation," the officer said, then hurried to add, "but we inflicted—" Victor cut him off with a sharp flick of his hand. "Then don't waste my time with totals." The officer stood there a heartbeat longer, paper trembling slightly in his grip, then backed away as if retreating from an animal that might lunge. Every day the revenge raids ate more bodies. Every day the men came back thinner in number, duller in the eyes. Victor watched them return like he was watching weather, something that happened for the sake of something else. When stretcher lines began to snake past his command post, the camp did what camps always did. People moved faster, voices stayed low, the air filled with the wet iron smell of blood and the quiet panic of too many wounds. Someone cried out once, one sharp, involuntary sound. Then it was swallowed by the hush that followed, like the camp itself didn't want to admit it could still be shocked. Victor stood on the steps of his post and stared past it all, not at the injured, not at the dead, not at the officers trying to triage the future into something manageable. He stared into the drizzle and spoke under his breath, his mouth barely moving, as if the air beside him held a presence, as if it would answer if he said the right thing. Tempest saw it from a distance first, not the words, the posture. The way grief had rearranged him into something narrower and sharper, something that looked like command but felt like hunger. She watched him the way you watch a storm front you didn't trust, measuring its speed, its mood, its willingness to turn. She approached him once anyway. She didn't soften her steps. She didn't ask permission. She walked straight into the edge of his space and made him look at her. "You're bleeding strength," she said, voice calm in the way the ocean was calm right before it swallowed a ship. "For two faces." Victor's gaze flicked to hers with bright irritation, as if she'd interrupted him mid-prayer. Tempest didn't let him dismiss her. "They're alive," she continued, each word placed carefully. "And while you're throwing men into exposed ground hoping to catch them, the real rot still breathes behind their lines. Ma, CJ, magic. The sanctuary that keeps them standing. The place that—" Victor laughed. It wasn't amusement. It wasn't even anger at first. It was brittle, too loud, too sudden, like glass cracking in a hot fire. "Oh," he said, and the sound of it was wrong. "So that's what this is." Tempest's eyes narrowed. "Don't." Victor's smile widened into something sharp. "Sentimental," he said, tasting the word like he'd found a bruise. "You, of all people." Tempest's hands curled at her sides. "I am not sentimental." Victor took a step closer, rain sliding down his face like tears he refused to own. "Yes, you are," he said softly. "You pretend you're wrath, but you keep circling the same old names like they're sacred." His voice rose, gaining a cruel brightness. "The people who left you behind." Tempest's expression went still. Lake ice forming from the surface down. "They didn't leave me behind," she said, quiet. Victor's eyes glittered. "Didn't they?" For a heartbeat, the air between them felt thin enough to tear. Then Tempest did something Victor didn't expect. She didn't explode. She didn't strike him. She looked at him like she was seeing the full shape of him for the first time, and it wasn't a leader. It was a man chasing an absence through smoke. "You're losing the war," she said, "not to them, to yourself." Victor's face twitched. Something hot flashed behind his eyes. Then it vanished under command. Ice. "We'll see," he said. And after that he started cutting her out. Orders went out without her seal. Units moved without waiting for her weather. Scouts were sent into valleys she hadn't cleared, into open ground she would have covered with crosswind and hail. When officers questioned it, careful, terrified, Victor's answer was the same each time. "Fear makes the survivors great," he told them, voice steady as if it were doctrine. "Loss sharpens devotion." Men died because of it. He didn't flinch. He only asked the same question again and again, like repetition could force the world to comply. Did we get one of them? Not how many did we lose, not what did it cost, Just that. Tempest watched the consequences stack up like bodies. She watched Victor stand by his post as the stretcher line thickened, his gaze fixed somewhere past the wounded, his lips moving with words meant for one person alone. "I'll break it," he whispered, and if anyone heard, they pretended they hadn't. "I'll break the world. I'll reach them. A flicker moved in the corner of his vision again, an outline where no outline belonged. Victor's head snapped, eyes wide, breath catching. "She's—" he started, then turned sharply to the nearest guard, like the man could confirm reality for him. "Tell me you saw that." The guard stared at him, helpless. Victor's voice went low and frantic. "Tell me you saw her." The guard's mouth opened, then closed. "No, sir." Victor's face hardened instantly, rage sealing over grief like a lid. "Then you're blind," he hissed. He turned away before anyone could see what the words cost him. Above them all, Tempest was already shaping something else. A long, grinding storm. Pressure building day by day, rain teaching the ground to soften, wind learning angles of the valley, thunder pacing itself like a predator that didn't need to rush. Not for Victor, not for his crusade. A storm meant to hold, a storm meant to trap, a storm meant to fall on a place she could find with her eyes closed, because she still remembered the doorway, the table, the corner that caught your hip if you moved too fast. Her childhood home, Ma and CJ's sanctuary, Magic's lifeline. Tempest's mouth tightened. Not rebellion yet, not betrayal, just certainty. Behind her, Victor stared into the rain and pleaded with smoke to become a woman again. Above her, Tempest tightened the sky around her fists and let a slow, distant rumble roll, soft enough that it sounded like weather, hard enough that it sounded like a warning.
And that is our chapters for this week's Guardians of Unity. So freaking good. Oh man, shit's about to hit the fan. I'm excited. So many chapters. All right, I do have to work today. Probably smoke one more and call it an afternoon, but great Guardians of Unity. So freaking good. Don't miss out on next week's Guardians every Wednesday. Please make sure you're following everybody on the Cove team. Have yourselves an amazing night. Stay hunkered down and stay warm. Thank you to all of our sponsors and our subscribers and the viewers and the followers, everybody who shares all the shows. We couldn't do it without you. We'll see everybody tomorrow morning. Cove TV Morning Show, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, every single day of the week. And have an incredible evening. Much love, everybody. And cheers, cheers. Let's go with this. Cheers, everybody.
If I go, if I leave it all. Will I run, will I be being unknown? Say what you like, say what you like, say it. Turn around, city lights fading out. It's time to let go. I will meet you halfway. We gotta move on. I will meet you halfway. It's time to let go. We gotta move on. I will meet you halfway. It's okay, don't be sad or scared. You'll be fine, I'll be there on time. Yeah. Say what you like, say what
Oh, that was a good one. Much love, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Wouldn't continue. All right, we figured it out.